What's up, you freaking geniuses? So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to find a difference quotient of a cubic function. All right, so the function we're going to do in this video is f of x is equal to 4x cubed minus 2x. All right, now the difference quotient formula is right here. So the dq is equal to f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. All right. So in order to find the difference quotient, the first thing we need to do is find the first part of the formula, which is this f of x plus h, right? So that just means in order to find f of x plus h, wherever we have an x, we're just going to plug in an x plus h, right? So there, and there, all right? We're going to plug in x plus h's in those spots. Okay, so here we can say that f of x plus h is going to be equal to 4x cubed, but again, here instead of x, we're going to put x plus h, right? So we're going to say x plus h, and that's cubed. And then we're going to say minus 2 times x, but again, instead of just x, we're going to say x plus h. All right, so this is going to be all equal to 4 times x plus h cubed. That's the same thing as x plus h times x plus h times x plus h. All right, and then we have minus 2 times x plus h, right? So minus 2 times x plus h, right? So then here, the first thing that we want to do is multiply all of these factors together, all these x plus h's together. So first of all, let's multiply these two together. So those are just two binomials, right? So we can just FOIL those. So then here, we can say x times x, that's equal to x squared. X times h, that's equal to xh. And then we have h times x, or in other words, you can flip that and also write it as x times h, right? With multiplication, order doesn't matter, right? So that's why we can flip it like that. And then lastly, h times h is equal to h squared, right? And then again, we're still multiplying by this one right here, this x plus h. And then we still have this minus 2 times x plus h. Okay, now let's see if we can simplify anything in here. And we can, right? Because we have an x plus h there and an xh there and an xh there. So xh plus xh is equal to 2xh, right? So then here in parentheses, we'll say x squared plus 2xh plus h squared times x plus h minus 2 times x plus h. Okay, now we're going to have to scroll down just so we can finish working this problem out. So then here, this is going to be equal to 4. And now we can multiply this trinomial with this binomial, right? So then here, let's see, our first term is x squared. So we're going to multiply our first term with everything in this binomial. So first of all, x squared times x, that's equal to x cubed. And x squared times h is equal to x squared times h, right? So done with x squared, now let's move on to the next one, 2xh. So now 2xh times x, that's equal to 2x squared times h. And then 2xh times h is equal to 2xh squared. Okay, and now lastly, we have h squared. So we're going to say h squared times x, and again, let's just put the x first to keep it consistent, x times h squared, and then h squared times h is equal to h cubed, okay? And then here we again have this minus 2 times x plus h, all right? Now let's see what we can combine here. So remember, you can only add and subtract terms that have the same variables and the same exponent on those variables, all right? So for instance, here we have an x cubed. It doesn't look like we have any other x cubes, right? So that one's still just going to stay as x cubed. But here we have an x squared h, and here we also have an x squared h. So 1 x squared h plus 2x squared h is equal to 3, right? So plus 3x squared h. And then it looks like here we have an xh squared, right? So notice the exponent is on the h here, not the x. So here we have 2xh squared, and here we have 1xh squared. So again, that's going to be 3, right? So plus 3xh squared. And then this h cubed right here at the end. And then here, let's just distribute this -2 into these parentheses. So here we're going to have -2x minus 2h. All right, so now that we've simplified this as much as possible, right, we combine like terms, now we can finally distribute this 4. So here we're going to get that this is equal to 4x cubed plus 12x squared h plus 12x h squared plus 4h cubed minus 2x minus 2h. All right, so this is what f of x plus h is equal to. So now that we know what it is, let's plug it into our formulas. All right, so here, let's actually make some room by clearing a bunch of this Okay, so this is f of x plus h. So now let's plug it into our formula right here. So we're going to say that the difference quotient, right, dq, is equal to f of x plus h, right? So it's equal to f of x plus h. And then we're going to subtract f of x, right? So we're going to subtract the original function, which is right here, right, f of x. So in parentheses, let's write the function. It's 4x cubed minus 2x, all right, minus 2x. And again, this is all over h. Dumb little h right there. All right, so then here we're going to say that the difference quotient dq is equal to, again, all of this. So let's use some math of magic to bring all that nonsense down there. And then the last thing we have to do here is distribute this negative sign into these set of parentheses. So here we're going to get minus 4x cubed plus 2x, all right? And then again, it's all over that dumb little h, all right? So then here we're going to say that dq is equal to, let's see, what can we combine or get rid of? Well, we have a 4x cubed here, and we have a negative 4x cubed here, so we can kill those guys off. And then let's see, we have a positive 2x right here, and we have a negative 2x right here, so those guys also die. And so it looks like all we're left with is these few terms right here. So we're going to get 12x squared h plus 12x h squared plus 4h cubed minus 2h, right? Don't forget that guy right there. And again, it's all over that little h right there. All right, so then one thing that you might notice is that all our terms up here have an h. So let's factor out an h from each of these. And then what are we going to be left with? Well, if we factor out an h here, we're going to be left with just 12x squared, right? 12x squared. And then here we'll be left with 12xh, right? We'll still have a single h right there. So plus 12xh. And then here we have 3 h's, so we'll be down to 2 h's, right? So plus 4h squared. And then this loses the only h it has, right? So minus 2. And that's in parentheses. And then again, that's over this dumb little h. All right, so let's scroll down a little bit here. And as you can see, we have an h on the top and the bottom now, right? So those kill each other. So all we're going to be left with is what's right here in parentheses. So this is the difference quotient is going to be equal to 12x squared plus 12xh plus 4h squared minus 2. Boom, boom, boom. God, that took forever. So if you found the video helpful, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below.